Yep, that's me. You might be wondering how I got myself in this situation. Well, it all started at my local store. Right, that brings us to this point. So what's the plan? I don't have one. I had this idea to turn this into like a crazy cart type of thing, but that's as far as I got. But I already see that the center of gravity is way too high on this thing. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is chop off the undercarriage and we'll go from there. Before I went any further, I thought, maybe I should actually check if I fit in this thing. I didn't.
Bah! You look like an idiot!
Shut up, Hank. I was way too big for the shopping cart, and I wondered why a 39-year-old man was even building such a thing. But I wasn't going to let that ruin my drifting dreams. So I decided that I just had to cut the back out. I mean, who needs spine support anyway?
That's better.
All right, now we know that I actually fit in this thing. Now we're going to work out how to make this crazy cart actually drift. So how is this crazy cart going to drift? Well, we're basically going to use caster wheels. Now, when you have the wheels like this, they want to hold straight and true. And then when you tilt them back up to their normal position, they of course want to swivel 360 degrees or whichever way the momentum of the cart's going to be spinning. So that's the plan. We're going to make a lever mechanism which holds the wheel like this, and then we pull on that lever, it straightens the wheels up, and then we start drifting.
Hey, drift this! Dude!
Alright, first up we had to make a frame to mount our wheels, using some square tube I had just lying around. After welding the frame together, I thought it was important to grind back my welding shame to avoid weeks of depression after someone leaves a nasty comment. Once I drilled the holes for the caster wheel bolts, I had to work out how this thing was going to pivot. To make our caster wheels pivot, we were going to need to make a hinge. And again, because I didn't plan this thing through, I had to weld some extra supports in there, making this one of the most overcomplicated rectangles you've ever seen. Now I decided instead of welding the hinges to the shopping cart, I'd build a subframe instead. That way everything was independent and I could adjust things as required. Right. Our rear assembly is all tack welded up, but I've decided to leave it tack welded together because, to be quite honest, I'm a little skeptical about my design. I mean, I chose these big wheels mainly because they look cooler, but every other design of a crazy cart, drift cart thing I've seen uses small little caster wheels. So I'm wondering, like, have I made a big mistake here? So far it works as it should. I've got these little stoppers here to stop it pivoting too much, and a lever to pull it up into the upper position so it can start spinning. I think we need to now look at the drive wheel. So what are we going to power this with? Well, a 2,400 watt electric scooter. Now all we have to do is harvest it for its parts. But then the fear kicked in, and I just kept on looking at it thinking, I just spent $600 on this thing. What if I cut the wrong wire and then... I don't have that kind of money just lying around.
Hey, snap out of it, you wuss bag, and get on with the damn project!
Hank was right. I just had to get on with it. The first step was to disassemble this thing so that I could harvest the parts I needed. I was going to need the battery, the motor controllers, the front wheel and forks, along with all the handlebar controls. But it wasn't easy getting some of these parts out. Now, because the original head tube arm didn't allow the wheel to turn any more than 45 degrees, that went in the bin. To get me out of any trouble, I was going to need the wheel to spin 180 degrees. So I came up with this overcomplicated mount system. This overcomplicated mounting system wasn't just designed to keep me out of trouble with the wife. No, it was designed to make you think I was smarter than I actually am. This mount was going to allow the wheel to spin 180 degrees, and it was going to have a 6-degree rake angle to make sure it was stable at speed. I'm real smart. Right, all we needed was a steering wheel and to upgrade the handbrake linkage. And since no one was crazy enough to drive my 5-speed pallet go-kart, I thought I'd steal it from there. But as I fabricated these parts, I couldn't help but think, I'm a 39-year-old man making a drift shopping cart. What has my life come to? I mean, seriously, look at me. Little help. All right, that was sick. Now we learned a couple of things from testing. First of which is my wife cares nothing about my well-being. Actually, no one cares. Shut up, Hank. Second, the cart is a little unstable, so we're going to have to fix that. And third, the handbrake is difficult to pull with the leverage, so we're going to add some springs to help with that as well. Then after we've done that, I think we can start wiring up the electrics. Now, to fix our stability issue, I was going to use the original caster wheels from the shopping cart that had some sort of weird Yeti nether regions hair in it, and position them a couple of millimeters from the ground. First problem fixed. Now it may look like in this footage I'm stealing the springs from my kid's trampoline, but I maintain my innocence. This is clearly an AI generated video. At least that's what I'll tell the kids. Then using an offcut from the shopping cart, I made a hook. Second problem solved. Now someone told me once you should remove all the zinc coating from a galvanized part before welding it. But what's the worst that could happen? Help me, Pierre! Oh God!
Woo! Hey, who the heck is Pierre?
Oh yeah, Pierre, my patron. He's a hero, you know. He supports me financially and morally on these crazy projects and videos.
Wait, I don't get it.
Well, people like Pierre can sign up to donate as little as $1 a month to support me in building these projects and videos. In fact, if I got 100 patrons, then I could probably do this full time, which means more videos and crazier projects.
Well, if that's the case, don't sign up, people. It's hard enough dealing with this guy on the weekends.
Oh, shut up, Hank. Look, if you like these projects and videos, then please consider supporting me on patreon.com. There is a link in the description. And just remember, every little bit counts. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, the controls. The idea was simple. Convert the hand controls into foot controls. Simple, but effective. Now, rather than making a custom box for the battery and electronics, I thought I'd just use the original scooter dick. Yeah, I know what that sounded like. That's just how I said it. So just deal with it. Now, there was only one major part left, and that was the seat. I found this hoverboard cart on the Norwegian equivalent of Craigslist. Kragelista. It was $15 and it was adjustable. And it was done. Let's get our drift on. Now all this drifting was making me hungry. Those snacks were satisfying, and it was fun playing around, but how would my shopping drift cart compare to a real drift car? To give myself the best chance, I thought I should do some practice. I was unstoppable. This kid had no chance. Until that point.
It goes 50 k's on that straight and it gets all swirly.
But there was no time to complain about my bad engineering. No, a 17-year-old boy was warming up. And this is the moment you've all been waiting for. But this is actually what happened. Yes, I didn't actually get into a legit drift battle. I mean, I'm not that crazy. Saying that, this project had me doubting the whole way through why a 39-year-old man would make such a thing. But this project was so fun to build and drive, I think that was what it's all about.